Alright. The word eulogy comes from the Greek words eu, meaning true, and logia, meaning words or text, coming together to form the word eulogia, which translates to praise. So in a few words today, I said a few, it's not a few. A few words today, I plan to pay my respects to a friend of a friend. Her name was Lonnie. So first, a little about me. I've always had cats, and the thing about cats is when they die, more often than not, they'll run away from home and you find a place to curl up and die. I was told that they are conscious of the grief they put on their owners, and thus to spare the pain and grief of seeing their cold, lifeless body laying there, they choose to die alone. Dogs don't have that luxury. I feel like having a corpse in front of you, staring you in the face, really puts death into perspective. An open casket funeral has a heavy impact. The last image you have of a loved one is lying stoic, all dolled up in a coffin. You catch a glimpse of what's at the end of the road for all of us, what's on the other side of the tunnel. Some see light and others see darkness. Some people believe in God and others put their faith in science. Whether one ends up in heaven, hell, or simply in a box buried in the dirt, people live on in our memories. I made this image, I think the last image someone has of a loved one should be one that you can cherish forever. This makes me sad because my neighbor, Ms. Sweeney, just died back in Massachusetts, and I had a chance to see her before she passed, but I didn't. Now all I have is my memory of her. Just like a friend, my friend only has his memory of his dog. I wish I could go back, but that's not how life works. All we can do is keep them alive in our hearts. Reminisce about the good times, the joy, the laughter. My fondest memory of Lonnie. It was a little love-hate. It was a hot summer day, fishing with friends on Hart Pond in western Massachusetts. We're all lined up along the shoreline with our rods cast out, but every time I'd cast out my line, Lonnie would run out in the water, thus scaring the fish. My buddies were having luck, but Lonnie had other plans for me. I grew rather frustrated, and I didn't get any fish that day. In the moment, I may have held a grudge a bit, but I've since moved on. My friend Niles has been there for me time and time again. He thinks about other people before himself. If I ever lost my buddy, I'd be devastated. Where do we draw the line between how distraught we get after losing a pet, a neighbor, a friend, a family member? Are they all equal, or do we break down for one and shrug off another? Does having the body in front of you make it more real? Does it provide some sort of perspective for friends and family of the recently deceased? Does a pot of ashes hold the same impact, or a closed casket? I've never given a eulogy in the past, so I don't really know what to say. But I also don't want someone else to tell me what to say. I don't want to be afraid to stand before all of you and say how I feel about my friend. Lonnie was a good dog, and dog is the best friend. Thank you.
I finished it this morning, I cried a lot.
I think it's on the back right.